Hi, this is Michael from Neatline Antique Maps, and today we're going to look at one of the most important and iconic early maps of America. It's Sebastian Munster's map of the Western Hemisphere, of the New World. And it's a map that is famous in collecting circles, in part because it has these embellishments and this striking geography that really just jump off the page. But it's a map that has also a lot of depth and complexity. It's one that really gives us a window onto the Renaissance mind, how people during the European Renaissance understood and thought about the discovery of the New World. So I hope to show you that in this video. Let's take a look. Sebastian Munster's Novae Insulae is in many ways the quintessential mid-16th century map, but for sure it manifests themes dating back to the 15th century and even earlier. Just looking at the title and an inscription in South America, we see that the New World landmasses are being understood as islands. Islands, of course, being stopover destinations on the way to the East Indies. We also see the Castilian and Portuguese banner representing the subdivision of newly discovered lands between Spain and Portugal, which was established in the Treaty of Tordesillas in June of 1494. And finally, there is a continued reliance on the by this time centuries-old account of the travels of Marco Polo as a primary source of information on East Asia. Perhaps the most striking feature on the map is this huge bay that scoops into the heart of North America, nearly dividing it into two separate landmasses. The bay represents the so-called Verrazzano Sea, an enduring concept based on reports from Florentine explorer Giovanni da Verrazzano's 1524 voyage to the Americas. Verrazzano's expedition is one of history's great voyages of discovery, but as we see here, he made a critical error, believing that on the other side of the outer banks of the Carolinas was a vast open sea. And this error would be hugely influential, remaining on maps well into the 17th century. Now, as map scholar Tom Suarez has pointed out, our map is best understood when it is placed alongside another map from the same volume, Munster's map of Asia. You can see here how the maps match up, with Northeast Asia connecting, and how combining the maps gives us one coherent Pacific Ocean. And among all the famous features on this famous map, this is certainly one of them: the first labeling of the Pacific Ocean on a printed map. Now, the foundation for the European understanding of the Pacific Ocean is, of course, the Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan. Magellan himself was killed in the Philippines by a poison arrow, but one ship from his expedition completed history's first circumnavigation, the ship honored on our map, the Victoria. And the other key figure for the Pacific is, of course, Marco Polo. Now we can see that Munster has crunched the northern Pacific such that Japan, which is called Zipangri, ends up just off the coast of Mexico. But its inclusion on the map is really a testimony to the influence and resilience of Marco Polo's accounts. Polo related that experienced sea pilots sailed upon the China Sea, and we're well acquainted with the truth that it contains 7,448 islands, most of them inhabited. This makes its way directly onto our map. The final thing I want to cover in this video is Cattigara, a toponym that we see here in Peru. Now, the fate of Cattigara is one of the history of cartography's most fascinating tales. For Ptolemy, Kattigara was a port city of enormous wealth, located in the Gulf of Thailand, in effect the furthest known city to the southeast from the Greco-Roman point of view. On both the Martellus map of 1489 and the Waldseemüller map of 1507, we see Kattigara placed in Southeast Asia on the Malay Peninsula. Now, the discovery of the New World really threw existing configurations into disarray, and Kattigara was swept up in the confusion. We all know that Christopher Columbus himself believed that he had reached Asia, and many geographers understood America to be the Southeast Asian subcontinent. One of the most interesting interpretations of new discoveries was done by Johannes Schoner. Schoner here follows the belief that the New World was actually connected to Asia, and he kind of warps and stretches Southeast Asia thus that it transforms into North America and connects directly to South America. The idea didn't last very long, but it did have an important effect, basically eliminating that westward sloping Southeast Asian Dragon's Tail Malay Peninsula that we saw on the Martellus and the Waldseemüller maps. Now, what's so cool about our map is that Kattigara has been left behind, and basically half a century of adapting cartographic theory has seen Kattigara move from Southeast Asia to Peru. We are, in other words, first-hand witnesses to how the old conceptualizations of the world were gradually being broken down and rebuilt by innovators like Sebastian Munster. I hope in this video we have shed light on this fascinating map. For more, please visit us at neatlinemaps.com. Thank you.